Welcome to ASF Public School. This is Sumaira Parveen. Today we are starting chapter number 4, Periodicity of Elements. Periodicity. First of all, we should know the meaning of the word periodicity. Periodicity means repetition of the physical and chemical properties at regular interval. In the periodic table, you see that all the elements in the groups, they have the same properties. The reason of the periodicity means repetition of the physical and chemical properties is the variation of the atomic structures in the elements. Daubert-Renier's classification. In 1829, Daubert-Renier noticed that there are three elements with the same properties. He arranged them in a group of three. Later, he called them Triad, which was proposed as rule of Triad. He said that the central atom of each set had an atomic mass equal to the arithmetic mean of the atomic mass of other two elements. Example, you can see this is a group of three elements: lithium, sodium, potassium, and these three elements are placed in a group of triad. Now, if we will add the atomic mass of first and the third element, that is lithium and potassium, and then we have to take its arithmetic mean. Arithmetic means we will add them and divide by 2. Then the answer, whatever the answer is coming, that answer would be the atomic mass of the middle element. Similarly, there is another example also, and the same rule is applied in this example. When we will take the sum of first and third element, the answer would be equal to the atomic mass of the middle element. This rule cannot be extended to the classification of all the elements because it is true only in the cases of very few elements. Newland's law of octave. 1964, a scientist, Newland, proposed a law which is called as Newland's law of octave. Octave means the group of 8 elements. Here in this law, the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic masses. 8th element, starting from the given one, has similar properties as the first one. That is, its properties are the kind of repetition of the first, just like the 8th note of an octave of music. You can see in this figure the lithium. If we count from the lithium, the 8th element is sodium. Lithium is the first element, beryllium is the second element, third is boron, fourth is carbon, nitrogen is 5th, oxygen 6th, fluorine 7th, and sodium is the 8th element. So the first element is lithium and the 8th element is sodium. They both have the same properties. Similarly, if we start from any other, let's take an example. We are starting from boron. If boron is the first element, then from boron we will see the aluminium is becoming the 8th element. So boron and aluminium, they both have the same properties. This shows that according to the Newland's law of octave, every 8th element has the same property and they are in the same group. For example, lithium and sodium, they both are in the group 1A, and boron and aluminium, they both are in the group 3A. Mendeleevs periodic table. 1869, a Russian chemist, Mendeleev, arranged the elements in order of increasing atomic mass. Its statement is that the physical and the chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of their atomic weights. Features of the Mendeleev's periodic table are the main features of the periodic table. As you can see that in the periodic table there are 8 vertical columns, and the vertical columns are called groups, and 12 horizontal rows which are called series. Nowadays these series are called as periods. Number 2, elements in the vertical column, that is in groups, they have the similar properties, like sodium and lithium. They are in the same group, so they both have the similar properties. Number 3, vacant spaces were left for the elements which were not discovered. Later on, when they were discovered, they were adjusted in that spaces. Number 4, the group number indicate the highest valence that is attained by the elements of that group. For example, lithium. Lithium is in group 1A. It has one electron in its outermost shell. That is why it is in group 1. It means that the group number indicates the valency of that element, the number of electrons in the outermost shell. Advantages of Mendeleevs periodic table. Number 1. It helped in systematic study of elements. Systematic study means if we study the properties of any one element of any group. For example, from group 1A, if we study the properties of sodium, it helps in predicting the properties of other elements of the same group. Number 2. Prediction of new elements was made possible. Some vacant spaces were left for those elements which were not discovered. So this periodic table also helped in the prediction of those new elements. Number 3. It also helped in correction of many elements having the doubtful atomic masses. Mendeleev's periodic table. In this periodic table, with the advantages, there were some defects also. Number 1, there was no place for the isotopes of element. Number 2, dissimilar elements placed in same group. It means that, as I told you before also, that in same group all the elements are having the same properties, but according to the Mendeleev's periodic table, in some cases few dissimilar elements were in the same group. Number 3, this periodic table was according to the atomic masses, increasing atomic masses. So it failed to give the idea of atomic structure. Number 4, in Mendeleev's periodic table, elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic masses. But in some cases, the elements of the higher atomic masses are placed before elements of lower atomic masses. For example, argon having atomic mass 40, it was placed before potassium. Potassium was having 39. So these were the defects in Mendeleev's periodic table. Hope you have understood all those topics which I have explained in this video. Now, according to these topics, I have made a home assignment including 4 questions which you have to attempt in your copy. Thank you. Take care and Allah Hafiz.